So the assembly on this console was not difficult, just a little lengthy. Just need to look at the pictures carefully. I had 30 pictures, so I figured I would kind of create a quick video so everybody knew how easy this really was. It's packaged very, very well. Foam packaging. The corners are hard pressed board. No damage whatsoever to the product inside. Really flat packed very, very well, wrapped in foam sheets where necessary. I like laying things out. There's a lot of parts here. The directions do call out the items on every piece. Every piece is labeled very, very clearly. I started with number one. So assembling a couple pieces here, you put these posts in. It's rather easy. The posts go into the board, so you put 6 posts into the 2 boards. You line up those cams. So if you've ever done an IKEA piece, this is very similar to that. These posts and cams seem to be the way a lot of manufacturers are doing this now. I love it. It goes together very, very well and tight. You can see I've also put some wooden dowels now, 2 wooden dowels in those upper pieces between the metal posts. Lining up the hardware for the draw, as you can see at the top. Follow the instructions. It's laid out very, very clearly at the top of page or step 3, as you can see right there. You can see the hardware is installed. You put it on the back side now. The front is facing forward. You have to watch the alignments on things. You have to look at your pieces very, very carefully in the pictures. If you do, you won't have an issue. As you can notice, I've also kept everything on top of the cardboard. I didn't want to damage it or the hardwood floors. Simple things like lining up the rail. You can see I'm lining now up all the pieces that go, the side pieces that attach to the top rail. So that center piece with the 2 walls underneath the directions was what we were creating first. Then you put the rail across the top, then you put the sides on. Now you put the bottom on. So, you know, having room to move around is quite important. I highly recommend using a screwdriver. Be very careful if you decide to use a power tool. I really wouldn't recommend that unless you're very, very careful with it. This is the base, so we're just simply doing a very quick assembly of the base, putting the front on it now. That base then has these really long screws. You take those really long screws and you screw that to the bottom of the console. Quite simple. Working on the next piece, which is the top. The top is now upside down on top of the unit, which has been stood up. I just wanted to show you that it's got cleats. Those L brackets about a quarter of the way in from the left and a quarter way in from the right. They actually slide through the back of the console. You can see it now. I'm about ready to lower it onto the console. Those posts fit in the holes and cams are going to lock it in. Another view of it. I have a little helper there with me. That's what it looks like after that step. After you place it on, you use the screwdriver to lock those pieces in. At this point, you can see those, I'm on step 14 here, you can see that the white nylon angle brackets kind of fit in the back. You can see it to the right of the instructions. I've got 2 of them screwed in. They don't say where to do it. I would pull it down probably 2 inches from the top, 2 inches from the bottom, and pop them in. That really tightened up the unit significantly. Typical shelves, you push the pins in and you drop the shelves on, so the 2 shelves are in. Let's form the box of the draw now, so the left, back, and right. There's a picture of those cams. So you can see the post is coming through from that brown piece. The post is screwed into the brown piece. The post then gets pushed into the white piece, and the tip of that post shows in the hole. You then take those cams, and the cam grabs that post and tightens it up real well. Front of the draw is on. Slide the draw in real easy. There's a screw to hold it to those brackets, a single screw on each side. Very, very simple. Assemble the doors, put the hardware on into the pre-drilled holes. Drop the doors on top. There's a pin to make sure it doesn't slide right off those rails. And It really looks quite simple. You can slide the doors to the left and the right to open up the side compartments. The drawer comes out. It's a tight fit against those doors, but doesn't hit. And that's the assembly of it. I really like it. Hopefully you do too.